I'm Derek from Mandinas Cabinets, and I'm going to show you how to build a ready-to-assemble base cabinet with a door and drawer. Okay, so now we have the bottom shelf, which will go in here. Then we have our back, which would go in there and flush at the top of the box. So if it's flush at the top of the box, then when it's assembled, everything will be square. So for ease of assembly, we use a pin nail gun. The alternative would be glue and clamps. So with the top of this flush at the top, then we can take and line up our bottom shelf with our back and pin nail and screw through the back side. So I pin nailed there just to hold it in place while I put the rest of the parts in position. Now we're going to have two stretchers with edge banded faces, and those go on the front, the top stretcher and then this middle stretcher. One is fully dadoed in, goes right there. And for now we can place these into position. And this one is a blind tenon, which we could also just place into position for now. And then we have three more stretchers. Two that have rabbets all the way through. These go towards the toe kick and they can put in last. The final stretcher has no banded edge and it gets placed into position at the top and towards the back of the cabinet. Making sure I'm flush at the top and flush here. And one pin nail to hold it while I'm proceeding. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and take these in position like this, if that gives us a good wide angle. So that's this side for the right, and then this is placed in position there. And then for this we're using what we call Euro screws, and they go inside the 5mm pre-drilled holes. One more screw. And then the next hole lines right up. And then as we go, kind of wiggle that a little bit, and then it falls right into place. So I'm flush in the face, and then with downward pressure I could just put a pin nail. Flush in the face. And then same thing for the bottom. Flush in the face, flush on the bottom, and one pin nail to hold it in place. Then I can take and spin this around. And now this entire back is rabbeted in place. So before putting screws in to fasten, I can place a few pin nails. And now we can slide our toe kick stretchers in place with the full rabbet. Just like that. At this point, we can pre-drill our holes, and a countersink is helpful to make sure that none of the screw heads are proud of the wall. So for assembly purposes, we're using 1 3/4" self-tapping screws. So technically, you don't need to pre-drill. This makes it helpful and easier. Go ahead and run in all your screws. Okay, so now that this is all fastened, we need to flip this over, but also remember that we only place the stretchers in place. So right now, we want to make sure that we're not going to lose our cabinet. So we can roll this over on a workbench. Okay, so now we have this rotated. Same thing, these are loose now, so we want to make sure that we're flush in the face. And then place a pin nail to secure it before we go back around and run the screw in everywhere. Okay, now we stand it up and everything's fastened. Make sure that your nail heads are set all the way and that your screws are countersunk. You can give your assembly space, if you're installing your floor, you run the risk of scratching your floor if for some reason the nail heads aren't set or the screws aren't countersunk. It's these little nails that just don't set and they'll just scratch up anything. So I can take that and set the nail. This side doesn't feel like it has any scratches. Okay, so now we have a cabinet box. I'm going to go ahead and snap the door on. I set it in the cart. There you go. So now, what we want to do is assemble the drawer box. So for the drawer box, we have two sides, a front and a back, and our bottom needs to be installed a certain way. So when you're assembling the drawer, the most important and critical thing is that this slot be installed towards the top side, the inside of the drawer box. So when it goes into the dado, and we take our back and put it into position, it creates a hole. Now that hole is what's going to capture that locator pin. And that's the most important thing, is to make sure that it's not installed upside down. Because we didn't grab those. So making sure that this bottom is in there, it's the same length that is flush on either side, left to right of the side, to make sure that it comes out square.
And so we're pin nailing?
Yeah, just to make ease of assembly. This way we're flush.
This way?
What I've been doing lately is once I have it assembled like this, I'll just lay it over and then take my clamp and clamp it as such. So now with it face down like this, Natalia, you can countersink those two holes and run screws in at the same time, and then you can place your release mechanisms where they go. Both sides have these locator holes now, and both sides are pre-drilled, so it can't be backwards. Perfect. So now this one's kind of at a standstill until the glue sets. So
How long should the clamps be on?
At least an hour. Our drawer box is glue is dry, and now we're out of clamps. This is the front of the front of the drawer box. This is the back of the drawer box. So we measure from the top of the door to the bottom of the drawer box, and we subtract 1/8 of an inch. So I'm measuring 1 5/8 inches. So what I want to mark on my drawer front is 1.5 inches. And picking the face, pick the side that has the least amount of defects. So if there's any chip out around the perimeter, try and make that be the back side of the drawer. So we'll go ahead and lay our face down. Now we're going to make our mark 1.5 inches from the bottom of the drawer front. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and drill about 1 inch in from the side and center it on the height. Using a 1/4 inch drill bit. The underside of that box where we measured, we're going to line up with our 1.5 inch marks. I like to take and place a pencil mark. And now I can center it from side to side. Use your tape measure. Give yourself equal distance on either side. I'm measuring about 7/8 left to right. I can place a pencil mark there to help keep it in line. Try and move myself here so that I can. Okay, so my pencil mark's keeping me where I want to be. I can use these panhead drawer front screws. my guides. Place my drawer box on my guides. There we have it.